This is Doug Biggerstaff from Art Douglas Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning. I've been hearing the name Art Douglas for a long time. How long has he been around?
Since 1971.
Really?
And it's actually Art's my father,
Okay.
and I'm the Douglas. So that's how we came up with the name Art Douglas, because nobody wanted to put the name Biggerstaff on the side of a truck.
Be kind of a cool
We actually
name
got a
for
call from the city of Fresno, don't do it.
Be a good name for a plumbing company, though,
I thought
wouldn't
it'd be a great name for plumbing. Biggerstaff Plumbing.
it? So what's happening in the world of plumbing, heating, and air conditioning?
Well, a lot of water issues. We're seeing a lot of houses where, because the water table is going down, we're getting a lot more debris in your faucets and in your toilets and in your water.
Because water's being pulled up from deeper? Is that why?
Water's being pulled up from deeper, and the just more debris. The pipes all over town are getting older, so you're getting a lot of galvanized debris, a lot of hard water debris, a lot of sediment in all over town.
So the city doesn't have filters on those lines?
The city does have filters, but there's no filter between the city pump all the way to your house unless we install a filter. We've got a filter. We installed a filter at our home, and even yet, if we go out of town for 3 or 4 days, go to the coast, come back, you turn the water on in the bathtub, it'll be brown.
I've never had brown water come out of my tap in Fresno.
Where do you live?
Up by River Park.
So do I.
And you've had brown water?
Oh, that's a major issue by River Park.
Really?
Yeah.
I've been lucky.
If you're on the new pump, actually, they put in at Chestnut and Beheimer, where they're coming off what used to be the river. That water supply is got a lot of brown in it.
Huh.
So we put a lot of filters in.
You know who has awful water is Bakersfield. You turn on the tap and it comes out like cloudy.
Fresno's water used to be just great. Used to,
I
really,
like Fresno
really
water.
good water.
I like Fresno water.
But, as the water tables get low, you get more debris. Just like anytime if you're on your own well, which a lot of people have, as it gets lower, you start getting more debris just because there's more sediment and there's more hard water and there's more rocks and everything else in the water.
Yeah. Well, what's up with the water in Hanford? That weird sulfur smell they have down there.
I don't know what's wrong with that other than it's Hanford.
It's just Hanford.
We don't cover Hanford, so
you don't go down. Well, how far do you go?
We cover pretty much the whole valley except for
except Hanford.
We don't go to Hanford. No, we go Fresno, Madera, Clovis. The immediate Fresno area. Within 45 minutes about from Fresno, we'll go.
Yeah.
So the foothills a little bit. We do have some large commercial customers that we go the whole valley for, but that's just a service we provide because they give us so much work that several of the banks in town we do, and some of the large box stores we do. So
you go out of your way for them.
We go out of our way for them.
Yeah, yeah. Now, before we went on, I was asking you about my garbage disposal, which is they get stuck all the time, don't they?
Yeah.
What happens to the thing?
You stuck something in it. What'd you put in your garbage disposal?
Well, it hasn't worked for a while now, but
eggshells.
Probably.
Yeah. Well, a lot of times the blades, because you got blades that are stacked, so there's 2 or 3 blades in there depending on the model that you have.
Okay.
And they actually spin in a circle, and what happens is you get some debris in there, and they'll get stuck together. Okay. So you can take a hammer, like we discussed, a broom handle. A lot of times you can stick it in there, and you can unfree it yourself, unjam it, and then it'll come back on. If something's bad enough, if you get something hard enough in there, sometimes it just has to be replaced.
Ooh.
Does it hum?
It hums. When I turn the switch on, it
stops
hums.
humming. There's a button underneath you can push.
The reset
button.
The
reset button.
Right. And I've tried the broom handle.
Try the hammer.
I'll try the hammer.
Try the hammer and see if that works.
I might just hit it with the hammer.
If not, then give us a call and we'll hit it with our hammer.
I know it's like $75 now to get a plumber out to your house, isn't it, or more?
A service call. Most of the time for us, we actually come out for free.
Really?
We come out. We give free estimates. We have upfront pricing. So we come out, one of our guys, we've got over 10 trucks, we'll come out, take a look at the job, and give you your option. Because you think a garbage disposal is just a garbage disposal, there's 17 different models just from InSinkErator. Wow. There's all the way down from a quarter horse to a horsepower and a half, from stainless steel, quiet models, standard models. There's just a whole array of everything.
Okay, if your guy came out and just used the old and the hammer to free mine up, how much would that be?
$95.
I could buy a new one for $95, couldn't I? No. I don't even know what they cost now. What?
You'd have to put it in.
Yeah, I'm not going to mess with that.
It's easy.
Well, you do it all day. You're the expert.
Do it. You can handle it. I've seen you on TV do stuff.
Not put a garbage disposal. You know what? If it's electrical, I don't mess with it.
Generally, plumbers don't like electrical.
Well, it plugs in. Is that all?
Well, we can plug it in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no wiring you have to do.
No, usually there are some older homes with what's called a batch feed, And that's where when you put the top on, it makes the connection. Sometimes those are hardwired in, but it's only 3 wires.
Okay.
We're smart enough to do that.
Okay. Can I ask you the worst question I can think of?
Okay.
A backed up toilet. Do you hate those calls?
No. We're in business to serve people.
Oh.
So,
I'd be afraid
it's
to
not
call
like we're going
you
in there with a
guys.
spoon and digging it out.
I know, but
It's not 1932.
all the stuff is sitting there, and I just think
We
I'm
have
embarrassed to have you guys come
We
out.
have a cable. We stick it in there, clean it. Guys we provide them with some, they have special gloves, and then they take it outside and they clean everything up.
But I've heard horror stories sometimes about things that you guys have pulled out.
From plumbers that don't know what they're doing. My plumbers at the end of the day look like they just started.
No, I don't mean being covered in stuff. I mean things you actually find when you pull
we
out.
found all kinds of things. Everything from diamond rings to G.I. Joe to...
Well, a diamond ring would be nice to find.
We give it back. But we've especially public restrooms. Like I mentioned earlier, some of the box stores, one of the major problems that some of the stores have had is people theft. Is they'll go in and they'll steal something. Well, what they do is they try to, with clothes, shirts, they try to flush their old shirt down.
Oh, no.
And wear the new shirt out.
Oh, no.
Well, they'll shove that in there, and sometimes it doesn't come out. Boxes for watches, the plastic boxes.
Down the toilet?
We've actually had them push them down the toilet, then push clothes behind it, and then push so hard that they've busted the side of the trap out on the toilet, and it's leaking on the floor.
Wow.
But that's a public restroom where, somebody's going in and trying purposely to do something. Generally, in most houses, the biggest problem you're going to have here is going to be tree roots. Tree roots and, a lot of drain lines out in the yard. All the trees that they came along and planted over top the sewer line.
Does the snake work on the...
Yeah, we have rotor-rooter type machines, electric snakes, cutter heads. We have powerful equipment that'll cut the roots out until the pipe gets separated. Because when the roots get in, you cut them out, but they're still there because they grow into the fitting. And then every year the root gets bigger, just like a branch, and it starts to push the pipe away from each other, and then you have to dig it up and fix it.
I thought there was a new system where you didn't have to replace the pipe, that you could replace the pipe from the inside or coat it from the inside.
Well, there are a couple different systems out that are called trenchless, but you still got to dig a hole at one end and dig a hole at the other to pull this pipe through. However, most of the time what we do is actually do the repair where the problem is instead of replacing the entire line, because to go out into your street at your house is several $1,000s. Whereas, opposed to digging up the parking slip and fixing that is, a few hundred.
Yeah. Where does the city's responsibility end and yours begin?
The city's responsibility, we just had a job where the city said their responsibility, it doesn't start until after you're hooked into their line, including the fitting that you're hooked onto. And they quote Proposition 13 for that.
So is that like out in the middle of the street?
Out in the middle of the street.
Wow.
So your lateral comes out, and there's a Y and ties it into the city sewer. And at that point, after it's tied in, if the city line itself is broken, they'll take care of it. But if that fitting is broken from roots, you have to take care of it. Now, with water, it's from the meter or what they call a shut-off at the curb. Most people have had meters installed now. But from the meter back out to the street, the city will be responsible for. From the meter towards your house, you're responsible for.
All right. Well, we can talk about this all day, but we got to wrap it up. So, Doug, how can folks reach Art Douglas Plumbing?
They can give us a call at 222-5306. And they can also go to our website at artdouglasplumbing.com, and you can send us an email.
Yeah. So you're the second generation?
Yes.
Is there a third? You working on a third?
There's a third, but she's high maintenance. She doesn't think she should have to work. Actually, there's one funny story that goes with that. She used to come down and help us at the office when she was little. Holidays and school would be out. And, you do the tax deposits and you pay the taxes. She would go with her mom to the bank to do that. And she looked at the check. She looked at her mom and said, "Do you have to pay taxes if you work?" "Yeah." "I'm not getting a job."
Oh! Well, that's how a lot of kids are these days.
Yeah.
I know. Anyway, good seeing you, Doug.
All right, thanks.
Doug Biggerstaff from Art Doug. Give him a hand. Yeah. Call him when your toilet's all stuffed up, and he'll take care
Call
of it.
the legend.
Call the legend. And we'll be back with more on Central Valley Talk.